the guardian angel of street. Marys, please subscribe to my channel and like a video. Let's start the video. Father Michael had served St. Mary's Church for over 20 years, and in all that time, he had never seen anything quite like the small, gray-striped cat that appeared every night without fail. It started one chilly autumn evening. As Father Michael locked the heavy oak doors of the church, he noticed a pair of glowing green eyes watching him from the shadows. A scrawny stray cat sat on the steps, its fur matted, its ribs visible beneath its thin coat. It didn't meow or beg. It just stared at him, as if waiting for something. "Shoo!" he said gently, waving a hand. "Go on now." But the cat didn't move. Father Michael sighed. He wasn't unkind, but he had enough to worry about. His aging congregation, the leaking roof, the dwindling donations. He didn't need a stray cat adding to his burdens. Still, something about the creature's quiet persistence tugged at his heart. The next night, the cat was there again. And the next, and the next. After a week, Father Michael gave in. He brought out a small bowl of milk and set it on the steps. The cat lapped it up gratefully, then resumed its silent vigil. "What are you waiting for, little one?" he murmured. The cat, of course, didn't answer. ##### a mystery unfolds. Weeks passed, and the cat, now named Whisper by the parishioners, became a fixture at St. Mary's. Every evening, she appeared like clockwork, sitting patiently on the steps as if guarding the church itself. Father Michael began leaving food out for her, and soon, she allowed him to stroke her fur, though she never ventured inside. Then, one night, everything changed. Father Michael was working late, preparing his Sunday sermon, when he heard a faint scratching at the door. Assuming it was Whisper, he opened it. But instead of the cat, he found a young woman, no older than 25, shivering in the cold. Her clothes were threadbare, her eyes hollow with exhaustion. "Father," she whispered, her voice breaking. Can I come in?" He ushered her inside without hesitation, wrapping her in a spare blanket and handing her a cup of tea. As she warmed her hands, she told him her name was Clara, and she had been living on the streets for months. "I lost my job," she said softly. "Then my apartment. I didn't know where else to go." Father Michael listened, his heart aching. He had seen hardship before, but Clara's quiet despair struck him deeply. Then she said something that made his breath catch. "That cat, the gray one outside, she led me here." Father Michael frowned. "Led you?" Clara nodded. "I was sleeping under the bridge near the park. She kept coming up to me, meowing, pawing at me. When I followed her, she brought me straight to your door." A chill ran down Father Michael's spine. ####. The truth revealed the next morning. Father Michael asked around the neighborhood. To his shock, he discovered that Whisper had done this before. An elderly homeless man named George told him, "That cat's been bringing folks here for months. She finds them, the ones who are really hurting, and guides them to the church." A young mother, Sarah, nodded in agreement. "She found me and my baby when we had nowhere else to go. Sat outside crying until someone opened the door." Father Michael's hands trembled as he listened. This wasn't coincidence. This was something divine. That night, he waited for Whisper, his heart heavy with questions. When she appeared, he knelt beside her, stroking her head. "Who sent you, little one?" he whispered. The cat simply purred, rubbing against his hand. Then, as if answering his unspoken plea, she turned and trotted toward the cemetery behind the church. Father Michael followed, his pulse quickening. Whisper stopped at a small, weathered grave, one that Father Michael had passed 1,000 times but never truly noticed. The inscription was faded, but he could still make out the words, "Lily Carter, beloved daughter." The smallest pause leave the deepest prints. ****, and then, like a bolt of lightning, he remembered. 10 years ago, a young girl, no more than 8, had come to the church every Sunday with her mother. She loved animals, especially cats, and would leave food out for the strays. When she passed away from an illness, the community mourned her deeply. But before she died, she had whispered to her mother, "Don't worry, Mama, I'll still take care of the lost ones." Father Michael fell to his knees, tears streaming down his face. Whisper wasn't just a stray. She was a guardian, a messenger, a little angel with paws, sent to fulfill a child's promise. ####, a miracle recognized from that night on. Father Michael never doubted Whisper's purpose. He shared the story with his congregation, and soon, the church became a sanctuary not just for souls, but for the lost and forgotten. A shelter was opened in Lily's name, and no one in need was ever turned away. As for Whisper, she continued her nightly vigil, her green eyes ever watchful. And though she never meowed or demanded attention, those who knew her story understood. Some angels don't have wings, some have fur, and a love that never dies. Like a video and subscribe to my channel please. Thanks for watching.